Welcome back to the news today. Russian President Vladimir Putin gave his annual State of the Union address today, in which he reiterated warnings that Turkey would regret downing a Russian jet. It comes as British bombers made their first strikes on Islamic State in Syria overnight, adding to the complexity on the ground and in the political arena. Ellie Ochenberg, diplomatic correspondent for the News Today, reports.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
To call it a big mistake is probably a gross understatement. Since November 24th, the day Turkey shut down a Russian Su-24 warplane, Moscow and Ankara have been on a diplomatic collision course.
It's a stab in the back, delivered to us by accomplices of terrorists.
We sincerely recommend Russia not to play with fire.
Mutual allegations and threats, sanctions, unreturned phone calls, and two very furious leaders.
If anyone thinks that having committed this awful war crime, the murder of our people, that they are going to get away with some measures targeting their tomatoes, or some limits on construction or other sectors, they are sorely mistaken. We will remind them what they did more than once, and they will regret what they did more than once. And we do know what is to be done.
Putin's unforgiving tendencies are well known, but the level of hostility towards Ankara has surprised many, including the Turkish president himself, who some previously described as Putin's political twin.
Nobody should expect us to remain silent when our border security is constantly breached, our legal rights and our right of independence undermined. We have no intention of escalating this incident. We are only defending our own security.
But while Ankara stresses the incident has been overblown, Moscow is showing no signs of relenting. In his State of the Nation speech Thursday, Putin reiterated accusations that Turkey is trading oil with the Islamic State group and called for a broad international coalition to fight terror.
Each civilized state must now invest in the destruction of terrorists, confirm its solidarity, and not by declarations but by actual actions. And that means no shelter to bandits, no double standards, no contacts with any terror organizations, no attempts to use them for their own purposes, no criminal bloody business with terrorists.
Yet Erdogan fights back, offering nothing less than his own career in exchange for concrete proof.
Neither Russia nor any other country can accuse Turkey of buying oil from ISIS. Turkey can't have such poor ethics buying oil from terrorists. I would offer my resignation if they offered any proof of these accusations.
Putin's harsh rhetoric precludes any immediate rapprochement with Turkey, while the latter refuses to back down. But neither angry statements nor olive branches are likely to determine how long the crisis lasts. At the end of the day, history shows that economic motives often trump political downturns, or in this case, downed planes.
Yes, and with me right now is Mayor Javed Anfar, Iranian politics expert. Good evening.
Thank you, Lucy.
So let's try to understand about a missile shipment to Syria. Let's try to understand about the cooperation of Iran in Syria right now and how it's changing the entire fight in Syria specifically, and how should Israel be worried about that or not?
Well, in terms of the S-400s that are being shipped to Syria, I don't think we have much to worry about, because based on the statements made by Amos Gilad in the Defense Ministry, that there's an agreement between Israel and Russia that Russia will protect its own interest in Syria and Israel will protect its own interest in Syria, meaning that if, for example, Russian planes came to Israel by accident, somebody picks up the phone and the issue is resolved. And if Israel needs to stop weapons shipments from Syria to Lebanon, then according to these reports, Israel can also stop them. And I don't think Russia is going to shoot down an Israeli aircraft. That's not for us. It's for Mr. Erdogan. It's his problem. In terms of the S-300s to Iran, yes, let's not forget that it is a gesture. It boosts Iran anti-aircraft capability, but I don't think there's an Israeli attack against Iran on the horizon anyway. So again, I don't think that's an issue, even though, of course, it may boost Iran's confidence in order to become more aggressive towards the state of Israel in the future.
Okay, so let's talk something also regarding Iran. Now the developments regarding Iran. First, Russian media is reporting that Moscow has, like we said, started to deliver the S-300 missile defense system to Tehran in accordance with a deal that Israel vehemently opposes. It comes as the UN's nuclear watchdog was set to release a new report which says the Islamic Republic made concerted efforts to develop atomic weapons prior to 2003, a goal that may have since been abandoned.
Correction. They until 2003 concerted efforts and then ad hoc efforts from 2003 till 2009. So, you know, this is where the difference between America and some of its other allies. America said in its national intelligence estimate in 2007 that Iran stopped in 2003. That's what was the end of it. However, other countries such as the United Kingdom and Israel said, no, Iran continued. And we see Iran continued until 2009 when it stopped. But what we know, okay, that Iran had a nuclear program. It was mostly research and development on computer simulation, and also some neutron testing. Of course, it was with the goal of further developments in the future, but they didn't take that step. But yes, Iran did have a nuclear program.
Mayor,
military nuclear program.
So where does it put Iran now, right now, and where does it put the United States? Or if Iran just is starting to breathe a little bit from the relief of the sanctions, this kind of report, where it will put Iran, or maybe everything will continue being as normal?
Let's be frank, it won't stop the deal.
Of course not.
Let's be frank, it shows that Iran lied, the Iranian regime lied. And let's be honest that if Iran decides to make a weapon, for example, in Parchin, where it took, I don't know, 8 years to get in there, now we could do it within 24 days maximum. It's not bad, is it? Within 24 days.
Yeah, but you know, what about facilities that are not included in the deal? What about facilities that the United States and everybody else doesn't know that, or don't know that exists? So
within, if there's any suspicious site, within 24 days you can get in, even if Iran objects to the evidence that you present, because there's an 8-member body there, and Iran can get a maximum of 3 votes. Iran, Russia, and China. It won't get more than 4 votes, which it needs to stop. This was a kind of, in order to respect Iran's sovereignty, to show we respect it. But if the West wants to get into a site that have evidence, they can get in there within 24 days. Iran will not have the significant majority in that council to reject a visit to those sites.
So you're saying it was a little bit uncomfortable, but it will pass.
It's not nice, but the important thing is we know that they lied before, and we know, more importantly, that if they lie again, we can stop it within, you know, to get into those sites.
You know, maybe Benjamin Netanyahu would say, and we know that they will lie again.
But this time we can get into the sites within 24 days, which is different than before.
Which is very important. Mayor Jaffa Port, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This.